Hi everyone, welcome back to the Altium Develop series. So, today the topic of discussion is how system level architect uses Altium Develop. So, as we know, system architects are usually fails because the requirements, interfaces, and constraints lives in different tools. Like your interfaces are in some PDF and requirements and constraints are on some other docs. So Altium develops brings them to one shared context as we have discussed in our previous videos without forcing architects into the PCB layout. So why system breaks when the board works? Let's say your board has multiple interfaces, means your board is a multi-board design. So multiple boards are connected to some main controller board, and that main controller board is controlling the other boards. So this type of design is usually fails uh, if even if the block diagram looks correct, boards work individually working. You have tested the boards individually, they work correctly, but you integrated the board, you tested with the main controller board, with all the boards, there becomes an issue in their working. The system fails when all the boards connected. It's usually because most system failures are not the schematics error, they are interfacing and assumption errors. The interfacing means pin-to-pin configuration on different boards, between the boards, like between the MCU board and the other board which is connecting with the MCU board. The pin-to-pin configuration, we will discuss it shortly. So, who is a system architect in hardware? So, a system architect does not route tracks. They define what connects to what, at what voltage level, speed, and constraints, and also under which assumptions. So, system architecture is about alignments, not the layout. So let's discuss further on it, that how a system level architect uses Altium Develop and can avoid these type of issues by creating the requirements and assigning the pin-to-pin configuration, interfaces, constraints, and limitation of the design. So let's, as the develop interface is already open and we are all familiar with this, and we also know about the requirement portal over here. Let's open it and see how a system architect uses this requirement portal. The main task of the system architects is defining the interfaces, constraints, and other limitations to the design. So we will see. I have created these requirements so I can explain you how the system level architect create the requirement for the interfacing and constraints. So on the first three rows, requirement 0, 1, and 1, 2, and 3, these are basically the constraints requirements. So the designer is restricted on these requirements. He should follow these requirements when designing the circuit. So it is circuit dependent. So these requirements are for the circuit schematics design. So in the first requirement, as it is written, the system shall operate correctly with the DC input voltage in the range of 9 volts to 36 volts without functional degradation. Sports, automotive, industrial, and wide range DC sources. Similarly, the system shall tolerate transient input voltage up to 42 volts for 10 milliseconds without permanent damage, and transient surge test should be necessary. And the third requirement is the system shall support a minimum signal bandwidth of 10 megahertz on all digital control interfaces. eye diagram, and signal integrity analysis. So these are those requirements for the designer, so to be follow when uh, designing the circuit or the schematics. So here I have just added the methods for the designer for the requirements one. This requirement should be analyzed, reviewed, and tested. So on the V and V activity, you can see the status is verified. So in this way, you can add the V and V verification and validation activities with the specific requirement and methods like analyze, review, test, under review. These type of methods can be assigned to the specific requirement. So I have just created this for the first requirement. You can add for all your requirements. So secondly, let's discuss on the interfacing, how the system architect helps the designer in the interfacing way. So for the fourth requirement, I have created a table, simple table of from which we can get a pin-to-pin configuration idea, how we can do the pin-to-pin configuration. Even if some other engineer, some other designer is designing another board which should be connected to the first board, so he can see the pin-to-pin configuration and can place their connector accordingly. So like here it is written, the pin 1 is the V in pin, voltage level is 9 to 36 volt DC, direction is an input, and description is main DC power input. So I've not added another column. You can add another column where you can write the pin number of your another board which should be connected with this board. Let's say another column have the pin number 3. So it means the pin number 1 of this board is connected to the pin 3 of another board. So in the same way, the second row is the second pin, GND pin, 0 volts, input system ground reference. Third pin is control enable, fourth pin is status, and similarly. So what if, so this was the case for just a simple single IC. What if you have multiple ICs on a board? So in the same way, you can create multiple tables for all your ICs in a single channel in the Altium Develop. So today we have see how system level architects uses the Altium Develop. So that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching and follow us for the upcoming videos.